Hello, I'm from PCN Africa. PCN Africa is situated in Pretoria, the capital city of South Africa. Today, I'll be introducing you to ICASA and SABS of South Africa. ICASA provides type approval of telecommunication equipment, whereas SABS provides the COC of EMC. So what is ICASA? It is the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa, which is the official regulator of the South African communications, broadcasting and postal services sectors. So what is the type approval? Type approval refers to a process by which an equipment, device, or system is authorized by the authority to be used in South Africa or imported into South Africa. This involves verification of the equipment's compliance with the applicable standard and other regulatory requirements. Moving on, let's look at the flowchart of the type approval process. First, you need to complete and attach all documents onto the online system. Then there is the payment of the application fee and the confirmation. It is then followed by the evaluation of the test report. When the application is successful, a certificate is issued and the TA register is updated. So who needs to obtain a type approval certificate? It is any equipment used or to be used in connection with the provision of electronic communications. These include manufacturers, importers, distributors, and any South African registered company. Please be aware that the type approval certificate will only be issued to South African registered companies. Therefore, details such as the company's registration number, physical and postal addresses, contact persons, and telephone numbers are required for the applicable application form. If you're wondering what documents you are required to have, these are the following. The type approval process must consist of the following documents: the RF test report, the EMC test report, the safety test report, the user's manual, and the block diagram in the PCB layout. Please take note that the test report will accept only test reports that are issued by an ATL, which is the authority or accredited test laboratories. The duration of the reading time of approval takes about 3 to 8 weeks. As for the label requirement, the labeling of equipment is the process of affixing a label that contains specified type approval number on the type approval equipment. The label design should be as follows, with the minimum size of the ICASA logo, which is 3 mm high and wide, a certification number of 1 mm, a TA standard for type approval, and the height to width ratio of the overall ICASA label must be 1:2 ratios, for example 10 to 20 mm. Here is a sample logo below. For the type approval certificate, you would require the following. It requires the name, the category, the model, the frequency range, the ITU emission code, the modulation, power output, channel spacing, features, and the label option. This is a sample of an approved letter for labeling. As we can see from the sample, the ratio of the labeling needs to be 1:2. In this sample, for the use of the product size and the packaging size, it is 18 mm in width and 9 mm in height. Now, let's move on to SABS, which provides the EMC Certificate of Compliance. In 2016, the South African Bureau of Standards engaged with their stakeholders with regards to the costs and economic impact of SABS's Certificates of Compliance practice. In the same year, the Independent Communications Authority of South Africa and the South African Bureau of Standards signed the MOU. This ensured that electronic products entering the South African boards be reviewed to enable the prevention of low-quality products entering the market. Here we see the SABS category and standard. It consists of the classification of equipment, the emission standard, and the immunity standard. To name a few, here, the industrial, scientific, and medical equipment has an emission standard of SANS 211 and an immunity standard of SANS 224. Sound and television broadcast receivers and associated equipment, terrestrial and/or satellite, has an emission standard of SANS 213, or SANS 2332. The immunity standard is SANS 2200 or SANS 2335. Household appliances, electric tools, and similar apparatus have an emission standard of SANS 214-1 and an immunity standard of SANS 14-2. Moving on, let's look at the requirements for our SABS test report. The test report must have a UIN, a unique identification number. The UIN must be captured together with its EUT into an image. The test report must have 3 logos present, which are the test lab, the accreditation body, and the SABS logos. The full test results with the unit of measurements must be specified in the test report. The photos of test setup, in step-by-step, must appear on the test report. And the photo and a clear description of the product that was tested must be shown in the test report. Lastly, and most importantly, a signature from the Commissioner of Oath must be present on the application form. Here is a sample of the Commission of Oath. Next is a sample of the test report. From this sample, we can see that there are 3 logos of the test lab, the accreditation body, as well as SABS. Furthermore, we can see that it consists of the UIN number, the applicant name, the address, the description of products, the model name and variance models, as well as the test standard. The following show the SABS test report requirements, which are the certificate number, the test report number, the certificate holder, the address, the factory or manufacturer, the brand or trade name, the product description, and lastly the product model. Thank you so much for watching. If you'd like to know more, please feel free to contact the people below